Your color wheel's done and your 3 sketches are done. When it's time, you're going to come to me and we'll talk about what size paper you need. And I want you to notice that this drawing I did earlier today is really a reflection of this sketch and this sketch. I kind of combined them. That's not bad. Okay, and actually I took some of these rocks from one of these other sketches that I did back here. Okay, so I kind of mixed some up. That's fine. Don't worry about committing to totally one of these. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to move you over a little bit, Lily. I'm going to set this aside. Now this time I picked a really long one, and as I do this long one, I want you to keep in mind you're overlapping. You're showing things closer to the horizon line, all the things we've been talking about and practicing. You're not shading anything. You are not shading anything. You are not shading anything. We are painting this, so I don't want you to fill things in, okay, with value. So I'm going to look at these, and this one would be kind of fun if I turn the paper this way. I think I might try that. So I've got a tree here, and I do want to make that tree bigger. I'm going to make them about that big, I think, and I'm going to do something else with this rock. So I'm going to start with this first layer that kind of comes through here. Notice I'm not pushing really, really hard because I have to be able to erase things and I don't want to dent the paper. If I push too hard, I dent the paper and it doesn't go away. So I very lightly lay that in, and I'm just going to very lightly put where I want the bottom of my tree, and I want it to come up about that big. I'm just kind of thinking and planning. So I'm going to start with my road, and my road should not be straight up and down. It needs to come over at an angle. And I'm going to not even make it straight. And it's very narrow. Some of you did roads and you forgot to make it smaller back here. Now it goes over that hill where you can't see on the other side and comes up on this hill. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this hill. I kind of like the way Grant Wood made his real kind of hilly things. And I'm going to go ahead now and add these fun hills, and they're going to be further away and more overlap. And I have layers. Okay, so my hills have overlapped. Now, if I just did this, it's a little boring. So that's why I've got that tree up front. Now I'm going to sketch in my tree, and I'm going to make him big and kind of dramatic like that tree. So I'm going to make him really big, much bigger than I have him on the sketch. And he's going to be a tall tree. And trees, as they get closer to the inside and the trunk, get smaller. Notice I can now erase that line. I want to do that right away so I don't forget. They get bigger as they get closer to the trunk. Nobody corrected me. I'm going to make him very dramatic. And I'm not putting leaves on him yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. But notice it's not just one line. They're all double lines. I want him to be tall enough to come up past this horizon line. Going to make him kind of, look how he kind of arches that. It's not really an arch, but see how he frames this road in a cool way. Now I need to get him taller, don't I? So I'm going to make some branches coming up here. Oop, there he is up above that horizon line. I love the trees in the winter because you can see all of that that's going on those winter trees. Make him come through here. And I don't want to just end it with a square. That's not what trees do. They end with smaller twigs. Now, the way we're going to do this, you might not even see all this, so I'm not going to add all those twigs. Now I need to finish this. Make another one coming here. He kind of has taken up that whole picture, which is what I wanted. Okay, so there's my tree. Kind of sketch that in. I can get rid of some of these lines in a bit. Going to come through, get rid of some of those. I've got a rock, and I've got these bunches of trees here. Now I shaded them in here just to kind of show you that they're further away. And I'm just going to lay in like lumpy bunches of trees. See how they're kind of lumpies? But they're low and they're high, and it's real erratic. It's not like that, okay? It's very different. Everything changes. And now this land goes behind here. And I don't think I'm going to put any trees there because I'm going to make that far enough away. I do want my road to come back up around here. So he goes down over the hill and who knows what's happening. Maybe it's winding around. I'm going to bring my road back up. It makes sense to have a road right there. See where it's a little flatter? I'm going to make him come. So it wound around and came off the page. And he's very small. And it comes through there. Maybe like that. I don't like how straight that is. There. So I'm going to get rid of this. Notice I'm not drawing dark, so I can get rid of this even with this little weak eraser I got here from Lily. Okay, so now I need to add some, I've filled up my space. It's a little off balance, but leaves will help. So when you draw leaves, they're in groups. They're bunches. And sometimes, now I can erase that stuff. Sometimes they come and cover up part of the branch. See how it's in a group? Again, it's very irregular. This is in front of that branch, so I get rid of the branch there in this mountain. And then I'm going to put a bunch of these leaves behind this, growing off the leaves. Stop talking, please. It's very rude. And then I'm going to put some leaves in front. And again, these leaves up front are overlapping. Might be best to start with your tree first, but I like to kind of place the landscape in. So it's up to you. But see how these bunches of leaves and groups are overlapping each other? And I'm going to not make you watch this whole thing, but I do want you to see that if you're doing something like this, again, it's the same thing. I've just made two things overlapping each other. This bunch of land, I'm a little more detailed than I was here, but this bunch is overlapping all of this. This is very far away. A boat should be sitting in the water. The bottom of the boat shouldn't be a curve because the water is, the boat's sitting in the water like this. I don't know how to do it backwards. So the bottom of this boat, if you can see through, is down there. But the water's covering it up. Again, overlap. Okay, kind of made it square. I kind of did a joke because I have this fishing, but there's no people there. Maybe he's back here eating lunch or taking a nap or something. He got tired of fishing because fishing's so boring. All right, so I've got two different, very different landscapes, both inspired by all the things. This is kind of Grant Wood inspired. And this one is that some of the other landscapes we looked at. I have a whole bunch of those drawings and things I showed you. So I pulled ideas from both of those from my sketches, okay? And we'll decide what size paper to use. Color wheel needs to be done, and your 3 sketches need to be done. Milo, take it out. Stop.